Hello, welcome back. In today's very video edition here, it is very pertinent. If you have not replaced your fuel pump, then you are in luck. You should never replace another fuel pump until you watch this very video. I meant every word. Now, a lot of you guys might just stop watching the video after seeing this very beautiful winter environment. But a lot of you guys who are curious to know the reason why I said do not replace another fuel pump until you watch this very video, you will be at a very good benefit to understand why. And I'm going to be explaining to you guys why you're watching this very video. See, most cause of fuel pump failure is not actually sometimes attributed to factory or defects that it came with when it was manufactured, but due to some certain conditions which we encounter when we use our road. You see, when you are filling up your gas tank, there are a lot of different debris and particles that's in the fuel. And what keep that check is what you're going to be seeing inside this very video here, which is a fuel filter. The funny side of this very thing here is that over time, the dirt get accumulated more. I'm going to teach you, you suppose you're in a very tricky situation where you can be able to replace the entire assembly. I'm going to tell you exactly what I did here to be able to sort out the problem. For a lot of you guys who don't know, there are hidden fuel filter that is inside the fuel pump assembly. Why do you think the fuel pump assembly costs like 100 times more than the fuel sender? It is just based on this very factor here, which a lot of you guys don't understand. So you just go straight ahead, you replace the fuel pump when your car is losing power, underperforming, engine underperforming, and still the problem don't seem to go away. Now, when we talk about a bad fuel pump or a bad fuel filter, a lot of you guys will not want to watch it because you obviously have watched a lot of videos, but you don't have any proof. But here, before you lies the reality and the proof which you need to certify that you need to replace that fuel filter before replacing the fuel pump. That is the right step. However, this doesn't apply to every car make and model. Why did I say that? When I mean the model, let's say you're driving 2024 car, it is not a piling up, right? But if you're driving a car of 2017, by now you should be replacing the fuel filter because this ugly situation is about to clog up. And funny enough, there are a lot of customers out there who forget that their car uses fuel filter. So it's often one of those critical part that's actually forgotten in the tank, and you are busy more worried about the gas costs hitting the roof. However, there is more problem lurking underneath the rear passenger seat where your fuel pump assembly is actually situated, and this is where the big nightmare actually come about, because most often times a lot of you guys have spent a lot of money replacing one part or another, including the fuel pump, and still the problem is not solved, without knowing that just this very neglected part can cause a huge problem. You can see the color on the ground right there. The $1 million question which a lot of you guys are going to be harboring right now inside your mind is, what exactly am I using to clean this up? This is a critical situation where the owners here, due to economic reasons, cannot be able to afford buying the fuel pump assembly. So we are assembling some certain technicalities to be able to sort this out without replacing the entire fuel pump assembly, and that is what is going on. So we will have to wash it and wash it over again until the output which you're getting out of the fuel assembly, you can see how stained our hands is on this very video. You can see it is not due to some other greasy stuff, but the dirt that has accumulated inside this very system for quite a long time. That is what is actually staining the hands. So the right material to use here is a kill shot, because there are some certain material you're going to use. You're going to be having a lot of remnants and residue still left over unchecked, which by the end of the day we create more problem on the new fuel pump which you're installing. Trying to get another fuel pump into the system without passing through this very process here is going to be like trying to throw another catfish full of crocodiles. They're not going to live to see another day. That's the reality. So if you are in a very tight location, let's say stuck in the middle of nowhere, and you don't have such money to replace the fuel pump assembly completely, then that is where this very method which I'm showing you here is very pertinent. The tapping with the ply which you see here is actually to enable every clog, every sediment, every particles, every debris that have been accumulated for years while using this very car here can be able to get off their comfort zone and get out of there, so that the system can be free to allow the free passage of gasoline and unclog it to stop the restriction. So that is where you need to use this very material. The material which I'm using here is a very friendly material with the fuel injector system, with the combustion, with everything. So there are some kind of material which you're gonna use. It's gonna cleanse the filter. However, it's gonna create more problem to the system. My best recommendation in this very situation here is you can use gasoline, which is already one of the material which is inside the system that is being run. However, for better performance, you can see it's a whole lot. It's still getting it. I mean, this whole video here, I only just streamline it to be around 30 minutes, but this took more than 30 minutes. When some of you guys saw this is like another way to revive this and saving yourself a lot of money. Let's say like about 300 to the next material, which is also very friendly with the system that can cleanse the fuel filter, is your thinner. The other face of this very issue here is that there are two fuel filter here. The main one inside that is hidden, which oftentimes Toyota and some other car brand do not do this so that you can be able to replace them. So in those regard, that is where this very procedures which I'm taking right here is very pertinent to saving you a lot of money, because you're gonna literally reuse the fuel filter and the fuel pump assembly again after this very process. Now here is this first fuel filter. So this is not the one we have been dealing with all this while. This is the one that is from the sump. Why the other one? This one is pretty much replaceable. However, the one on the inside is the more deadly one.